Hi, and welcome back to Conscious Living. Well, spring is in the air, and we've got a fun show coming up this week. First, we'll show you how to spruce up your wardrobe with some fresh, eco-friendly accessories, from shoe shopping in Soho to the season's trendiest eyewear. Then we'll get an early start on gardening season with a lesson on the zen of farming.
I can't wait for that. And as we wait for the cold weather outside to break, we'll help you warm up your insides at my favorite tea house in San Francisco. And a hearty and healthy soup recipe in honor of my Irish roots. Coming up on Conscious Living.
Well, spring is in the air, and it's a perfect time to freshen up your look. And one of the easiest ways to do it is with your eyewear. Here today is professional stylist and the founder of sustainable eyewear brand Eyewear, Kathy McPherson. Welcome, Kathy.
Hi, Bianca. Thank you for having me.
So glad to have you here. And look at this wonderful display of sustainable eyewear. Sunglasses, readers. Tell us about Eyewear.
We are a line of readers and sunglasses, and our frames are made with Italian acetate and bamboo, and they come in many different styles, shapes, colors, and they are very lightweight and unisex, chic and fashion forward.
Yes, and eco-friendly. Bamboo, so important, a renewable resource, and you guys have found such an innovative way to incorporate it into a really upscale looking brand. In fact, I think, was it this pair that was featured in Oprah?
Yes, this pair with the blue lenses.
Yeah.
Oprah just featured these in her June issue.
I gotta try these on.
And I still feel like it's a dream, but it's not.
And you designed these. I mean, it's amazing. What was the inspiration behind this brand?
Well, so many people today need readers, and they want something that's very fashion forward and chic and elegant. And so we came up with this line that suited everyone's needs. And then we also realized that there was a demand for sunglasses as well. Yeah. So we started creating our sunglasses.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're beautiful. And one of the things is, when it comes to accessories, we all think about the rule that, well, first of all, accessories make an outfit, right? I mean, you tell me, as a stylist, is it everything?
It's everything.
It's everything.
You can have the most perfect outfit, but without the right accessory, it's not going to pop the way that it should.
Yeah, well, you always hear, before you go out the door, take one accessory off, right? In this case, it's about putting one accessory on.
Yes, you're right about that.
And are there any specific rules? I mean, they say that if you have a certain shape of face, that you should avoid certain shapes, like heart shape, shouldn't wear circles. And what are some of the rules for the best frame for your face, for people out there that want to try these?
Well, I feel like a lot of those rules are very old school, and regardless of your face shape, we have so many different sizes, shapes, colors, that most people can wear many different shapes and styles. So you can have fun with it.
Yeah, so the rules aren't as hard fixed. So as long as you put a pair of glasses on and they feel good and you look good, then that's all. That's all you can think about. Okay.
Absolutely. Well, great. Whatever you feel great in, you should wear.
Yeah, well, that gives people a lot more range of options. I mean, look at these are just wild. I mean, check these out. I don't know.
Oh, I love you in the lime green. They're fabulous, Bianca.
Well, the lenses are so clear. And that was one of the things that I noticed when I put the shades on. It's just like, it's almost like having 3D vision. You put them on and like the whole world comes into focus.
Right.
That's when you know you're wearing a pair of quality eyewear.
Thank you, yes. And they're very lightweight as well.
Yeah, very light.
So they don't bother you when you wear them all day. You can put prescription lenses in them as well. So there's limitless options.
And tell me about the pair you're wearing. Goes perfectly with your leopard today.
Oh, thank you so much. This pair is called Babio, and they are probably our most popular pair for ladies. Men can wear them as well. However, they tend to be very popular with ladies, and they come in the black that I'm wearing. They also come in a tortoise. which I believe I have. Yes, there's a
Yes.
blonde tortoise.
Yes.
And I also have a tortoise in the bobbio right here in front of
This
you.
one, oh here, yeah.
Yes,
Very cool.
that
Yeah,
pair.
I love these. So chic.
Oh, they look fabulous on you. They're really great.
Awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to what's next for INAC. Are you guys coming out with more designs every month?
Oh, absolutely. We come out with new designs every season, and we really try to come up with new designs that our customers are asking for and to make sure we have new fashions to wear every season.
And one of the things that's great, in addition to how eco-friendly you guys are, is the fact that for every pair purchased, you give away a pair of glasses for children in need in schools, right?
Yes, absolutely.
It's wonderful. So you get to be a conscious consumer and do good while looking good. I love it.
Thank you.
Kathy,
Yes,
thank
we're
you
happy
so
to
much
do that.
for being here, for doing great work, and keep up the great work. You know, I need more. I need more of these in my life. Okay, so I'll just take all of them home. How about that?
Great, that sounds fabulous. We'd love to have you wear them, and you
Okay.
look fabulous in them.
Thanks, Kathy. Well, up next, we've got more eco-fashion inspiration coming up with a shoe shopping excursion to Soho and a lesson on the ancient art of tea. Stay with us. You know, fashion is about a lot more than just clothing. It's about art, culture, sustainability, and of course, style. But what it's mostly about is expressing your unique individuality, which is why today we're in New York's Soho district at the eco-friendly Melissa Shoes Boutique, where the world of art, sustainability, and style come together. And that's what Melissa Shoes is all about. With an eye for one-of-a-kind design, Melissa has partnered with some of the top fashion designers in the world, like Jason Wu and Vivienne Westwood. Like the original jellies, they're made from soft, pliable plastic. So the shoes are not only vegan, they're also 100% recyclable, so they won't end up in a landfill, making these shoes a great option for the eco-chic fashionista. You know what, all this creativity is making me want to go shopping. So I'll take all of these, and how about one of those, 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 one of those. Yeah, was it 9 or was it 8? Or was, let's see, these one was 8, but those were 9, I think? Can't remember. Oh, I'm so excited.
In this day and age where we're always on the go, it can be challenging to find time to stop and smell the roses. One of the best ways to do that is by enjoying a relaxing cup of tea. To enjoy a bit of relaxation ourselves, we hung out at the Samovar Tea Lounge in San Francisco, which gave us a fresh perspective on this age-old ritual. We caught up with Samovar Tea Lounge owner Jesse Jacobs to learn why tea rituals are more important than ever in these modern times.
When someone comes into Samovar, what is a typical experience that they might have?
I think the first experience is wow, a place that has so many different teas and that looks so old and ancient, but also modern. And that's really where we try to tie it together, the ancient and the modern. Ancient tea in a modern environment still has such a need in today's society, and yet it's 2,000 years old. And so I think people are surprised by that, but also immediately put to ease. Tea became so popular and traveled the world with the Buddhist monks, and it was used as a meditation tool to keep them both awake and relaxed to focus on their meditating. The nice thing about the ritual of tea is that all it takes is brewing tea, and that's what we're going to do. And what we have here is really the spectrum of both traditional tea as well as aged tea. And tea all comes from the same plant. So Camellia sinensis is the tea plant. These three here all come from that plant. They're just processed differently.
Oh, I didn't know that. So all tea is really the same
Same
kind of
plant.
leaf?
Exactly.
All tea
All tea.
in the world. You're kidding me.
No.
I never knew that.
The other one we're looking at is a jasmine silver needle, and this is a white tea, which is very fresh. It's the tender young buds of the tea plant, and it's very low in caffeine. This one is very unusual and gaining a lot of popularity. It's called pu'er, and pu'er is a aged tea, like wine or cheese. Pu'er is aged over time, and this one comes packed in a cake, and you break off a piece, and it's earthy.
This is so earthy. It smells like
a barnyard, maybe.
Yeah, but fresh, exactly.
To create your own tea ritual at home, all you need is a good quality tea, a vessel, a cover cup, a nose cup, and water that's just below boiling. Mix the tea and water together. Then allow it to sit for 5 minutes max. Decant the water from the tea into the vessel. This allows it not to overbrew. Now it's time for tasting the tea. Pour a small amount into the nose cup. Then, grabbing the teacup, place it over the nose cup and gently flip it over. Remove the nose cup, enjoy the scent, and then drink it up.
And that allows you to cover your mouth and your taste buds and really explore, what does this tea give you? Where does this tea take you?
Coming up, some spiritual inspiration for gardening season. Don't go away. In a world full of suffering, the idea of being Zen is something to which many aspire. But practicing this teaching can be easier said than done. One of the oldest Zen teaching organizations in the United States, the San Francisco Zen Center, has cultivated a unique approach to harvesting mindful souls through the rigors of organic farming. For the last 40 years, Marin County's Green Gulch Farm has been leading California's organic farming movement. From its commitment to refrain from using harmful pesticides, insecticides, herbicides, fertilizers, and GMOs, they're pioneers in the art of overcoming the inevitable challenges of growing food. Their secret to success? A robust spiritual community with meditation at the forefront of everyday life. Peaceful Japanese-inspired grounds that offer residents and guests alike a respite from the demands of the outer world. And a strong commitment to personal growth.
So that when you're out in the fields and you have this idea that you're actually doing something and trying to accomplish something, you can remember that you don't control everything. And the hardest part as an organic farmer is not knowing, not knowing and still making your best effort. The number one thing we grow here is people. We grow whole, aware, awake people. And after that, we grow soil. So we make compost. We feed the microorganisms that end up supporting the plants that feed us. We have a formal meditation schedule, so we very much run as a temple, doing forms and ceremonies that have been passed on for thousands of years through the lineage of Buddhist ancestors. And we also understand our practice as our everyday activities. So this is maybe really the unique training component of our residential practice program. So we work to understand everyday activity, planting seedlings, making beds, chopping carrots, maintaining the temple grounds as our spiritual practice. The crops we grow are cool weather, mostly annuals. We do some perennials, so a lot of brassicas, kale, cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower, and a lot of lettuce, spinach, so leafy greens, things that like it a little bit cooler in the summer. Every Thanksgiving, we tally up how much food the farm produced and how many herbs and flowers the garden produced and how many loaves of bread were baked, and we read it out. We kind of chant it in this wonderful ceremony with the whole community, like giving thanks for the harvest. So, 17,000 bunches of kale, and I remember usually it's about 5.5 tons of potatoes, and 6,000 pounds of spinach, things like that. It's great. Yeah. Of course, we send produce to Green's restaurant, which the Zen Center started, I believe, in 1980. We eat a lot of the produce here. One of the benefits of having a large residential community on a farm is that all of the so-called seconds, or kind of visually imperfect food, we can cook and serve in our own kitchen. So there's a lot less that goes to waste. We also do regular gleanings, have people in the community come in and harvest food that would otherwise be turned under, and that food gets distributed throughout the county to food banks and soup kitchens and people who need good, healthy food.
When you're working so hard to serve so many people, it can be challenging to remain detached from the fruits of your labor.
And how to find freedom in any situation. It's not based on conditions. It's not conditioned to that freedom. Yeah.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful practice.
At the Green Gulch Farm, there's no better example of this practice in action than farm manager Kayum Johnson, who's responsible for everything from seed to harvest.
We're sort of a strange hybrid of a production farm, a retreat center, a Zen Buddhist temple, and we're also trying to sort of incorporate and transmit the principles and practices of organic farming. So we grow intensively on our 7 acres of cultivated land, and we do a bunch of different markets and stuff, and yet we're sort of within the umbrella of this nonprofit situation. So we're blessed in many ways in that regard. Organic farming is basically the precept of restraining from wrong action. People, they feel like the produce is some of the best produce they've ever had. I'm sure everyone has their favorite farmer, and they all say that to them. But I feel like the yields are pretty competitive because of the intensive cropping style that we do. We put the farm to rest under cover crop in the winters. We don't push the season very much at either end, so we have a heavy clay soil. We try to stop driving tractor on it and working it when it's too wet. Lots of experimentation and lots of just attention, and curiosity about how do you caretake a watershed? This has been my training. I grew up in the desert, so I'd never farmed before. And because there's been 4 decades of people who have been trying to build humus and have made compost on the site and have been cover cropping the land in our rainy, wet season, the land really gives and gives and is very forgiving of new farmers, which we get every year. In Buddhism, we talk about your bodhicitta intention, which is the intention that whatever you're undertaking, you want to offer for the benefit of all beings. So it sounds a little abstract to apply that to farming, perhaps, but I think if your craft is suffused with an intention to be of lasting and widespread benefit, I have to believe that is reflected, at every step along the way, including a delicious salad that, tastes different than an impersonal head of lettuce that you buy at a grocery store that's grown under sort of autocratic industrial conditions, farmed with, harvested by immigrant labor that's underpaid, that's scared for their lives and scared of deportation. We could go down the list. But every step of the way, I feel like if we're able to bring a feeling of craft, I feel like that's one of the wonderful gifts that Zen and Asian Buddhism maybe in general is able to offer us in the West, where we've sort of lost touch with the craft tradition, is that, you know, you can pour your whole being into something and maybe without attachment have a great faith that that is going to go out there and be well received and be of benefit beyond some monetary metric or beyond, you know, some self-aggrandizing promotional trip. And to do it with all the respect that is due to recognizing that our fellow farmers and human beings, life all over the world is really suffering. The opportunity to practice mindfulness in farming, you know, is one gift. And then the spirit with which you do farming, at least that we have the opportunity to do here, which is that it really is infused with this spirit of we're giving it away, you know. And I feel like that is also coming from the earth, like the fecundity of everything that comes forth. There's like no holding back. It's just unchecked generosity coming, you know, wave after wave, season after season. And for me, it humbles me and like really returns me to a really basic sense of appreciation for how can we grasp this beauty that surrounds us, you know, and that we emerge from, and that we get to also caretake and sort of do our stumbling best to, you know, continue for the next generation. Thank you.
There's nothing like a good soup to satisfy the soul. So today I'm drawing on my Irish roots, believe it or not, and making a creamy potato leek soup rich in vitamins, minerals, cancer-fighting antioxidants, but without the dairy. Let's get started. So this is real simple. I've got about 4 leeks, okay? And so we're just going to add our leeks straight to the pot. And we're just going to let it cook down for about 5 minutes. And if you're not familiar with leeks, leeks are great. Leeks are sort of in between a scallion and a green onion, a shallot. So it's a nice, mild, oniony flavor. Obviously goes great with the potatoes. Okay, we've got some Irish potatoes. You want to look at russet potatoes. And so what we're going to do with our potatoes is we're going to peel them and we're going to cube them. Okay, so we're going to just stir this around. Okay, about 5 minutes. Just enough for the leeks to get a little translucent, okay? And this is perfect. This is great, obviously, for St. Patty's Day. And it's going to have this real creamy texture to it because we're going to introduce something special to it in the next step, okay? So once this is cooked down, about 5 minutes or so, the leeks are starting to get nice and translucent. Then we're going to add 4 garlic cloves. And we're just going to give it about a minute with these garlic cloves. Again, we don't want to cook this too much. Okay, we just want to get it going a little bit. So once that's gone for about a minute, then we're going to add 4 cups of vegetable stock. And we're going to add our potatoes. Okay, so we're just going to drop our vegetable stock. I've got some organic vegetable stock. This is easy. Also, if you have bouillon, you can make it up yourself. But this is super easy. 4 cups. Okay. And then to this, we're going to add our potatoes. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put our top on. We're going to bring it to a boil. We're going to let it cook for about 20 minutes. Okay. We're going to let everything cook down and get real moist. We've gotten this cooked down a little bit. Look how the potatoes are soft. The leeks have started to break down. And so then what we're going to add to this is we're going to add 1 can of Great Northern white beans and just 1 can of organic beans. Make sure it's organic. And this is going to add the creaminess, okay? And then we're going to add 1 teaspoon of rosemary. I love rosemary. Rosemary and potatoes is like bread and butter, okay? And we're also going to add a teaspoon of sage. Sage adds that really nice, slightly bitter note. Wonderful smells. And then about a teaspoon of salt and a teaspoon of pepper, depending on how salty you like it. Teaspoon, half teaspoon, something like that. Okay, of salt and pepper. And then we're just going to introduce this right here. And we're going to let it cook for about, I don't know, a minute, maybe 2 minutes. Not that much longer, just enough to get a little, get the herbs warmed up. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to mix this up and we're going to add it to our blender. Now, you can use a blender. If you have an immersion blender, you can just pop it right in there and begin to get that creaminess, or you can just use a food processor. I have my food processor handy right now, so I'm just going to do that. Got those potatoes, all those leeks. Okay, and then we're just going to start to blend this up. Give it a nice little pulse. It's beautiful. Look at that. Lovely. You still see some of those herbs in there. And then from there, all we're going to do is we're going to just pour this into our bowl. Looks delicious. Nice big bowl of Irish potato leek soup. When the Irish eyes are smiling. Oh boy. Something that food does to me. Okay, and then I'm just going to top this off with my favorite croutons. These are gluten-free, vegan croutons. It's going to add a nice little texture to it. Look at that. You can smell the flavors. Oh, that is so good. Well, let's warm you up. I'm going to keep warming me up. That's all we have for this week. We'll see you next time. That's all for this week. See you next time.
Want more? Then follow us on social media at Conscious Living TV.
That's it.
Woo!
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
Nice.